Hello again, my little conscripts, and welcome to another Mordian Glory video. In today's episode, we shall be casting our ever-critical eye over another Imperial Guard 10th edition Codex datasheet. This time, we will be looking at the Cadian Castellan. This video will be part of my re-review series. A lot has changed since the Guard Codex came out, and many units which were once bad are now good, and many units which were once good are now considered bad. For the Cadian Castellan, I think this might be our first auto-include unit as part of this series, which is pretty exciting. So without further ado, let's fix bayonets and charge right into this thing.
Attention Guardsmen, the Commissariat has detected you have not yet liked this video. Do so immediately or else you will face the Emperor's wrath. And anyone who has not yet subscribed to the channel will be transferred to the penal battalions. That is all. Move out!
As is tradition, let us begin with a brief look at the Cadian Castellan's stat line. He has a movement of 6 inches, which is normal in the Guard, and it is quite good because he's an infantry model, so he can go through walls, which is very important considering that all terrain in 10th edition these days is L-shaped ruins. For his defensive profile, he's got a toughness of 3 and a 5+ armor save and a 5+ invulnerable save. You might be wondering, what's the point in the armor save if he has the invulnerable save? Well, if he is in cover and he gets hit by an AP0 weapon, he will actually end up with a 4+ armor save, which is better than his invulnerable save. But realistically, that's never going to happen because everything in 40k has an AP value these days. He's got 4 wounds, leadership 7, and objective control of 1. However, and I have said this for nearly every Guard character so far, and I'm going to continue to say it, his stat line is almost irrelevant. This is a Guard character. We do not worry about their defensive profile. We do not really worry about their damage output. You want to be thinking about Guard characters as force multipliers. Not what damage they do themselves, but how they can boost your army so that it becomes more effective. Now, for the sake of completeness, we will cover the Cadian Castellan's weapons and war gear, but the main meat and potatoes is going to be around his abilities. The Cadian Castellan has a variety of weapon choices. We're not even going to look at any of them. There is only one loadout that is worth your consideration. You want to give this guy a plasma pistol and a power fist. Every other loadout is inferior to that. The power fist is the best melee weapon because it has the greatest strength and AP and damage combined, and likewise for the plasma pistol. Any other choices that you choose to make outside of plasma pistol and power fist will be purely for your own aesthetics and vibes. But as 40k 10th edition is a competitive edition, really, you should be taking the best loadout. Otherwise, you're just marking yourself down for no appreciable gain. You do not save any points taking any other loadout. But before you get too sad about that, like I said, his own damage output is relatively negligible and unimportant anyway, but it's still worth saying that you might as well give him the best loadout that you can take. No point in making it even worse than it already is. With that said, let's get to the main bit now, which is his abilities. Starting off with Leader. The Cadian Castellan can lead Cadian shock troops or Kazakin. There is a use case for both, but I find in general it's better to put him with Cadian shock troops. The reason for this is because Kazakin can scout, but typically, the Cadian Castellan cannot. But there are certain detachments, such as, I believe, the Siege Regiment, which can allow you to buy enhancement to allow the Cadian Castellan to scout. In that case, then putting him with a unit of Kazakin is not a bad idea. Outside of that specific use case, though, you generally find that Cadian Castellans are better with Cadian shock troops. Like I said, you want those Kazakin to be scouting, whether it's on foot or in a Torque transport. Cadian shock troops, on the other hand, cannot scout, and so he's not debilitating them in any way. So, setting the Kazakin aside for one moment, what's the best way of using the Cadian Castellan with other units? In my experience, there are 2 ways you want to leverage him. Firstly, put him in a Cadian shock troop squad with a command squad and then he can take advantage of the command squad's master vox. It means that this one platoon will be able to order itself and 2 other units. That is going to cover most, if not all, of your infantry corps, because I recommend that most guard players run 80 infantry, but 60 at a minimum. The other use case for him is you don't have him leading anything, and you put him on your home objective with a couple of indirect fire units, be that a couple of artillery teams, field ordnance batteries, or heavy weapon squads with mortars. This fire base can lock down your home objective with enough units to make it unpalatable for your opponent to try and deep strike down and take it off you. They can also screen out quite well or hide behind L-shaped ruins effectively, and it's enough indirect fire to really be a problem for your opponent's shit munchers. Those units which like to hide out of line of sight, doing secondary objectives and doing primary and all that kind of stuff. If you are curious about which method is better, the platoon or the fire base, both are equally valid. It's going to come down to what is in your army list and what you need the Cadian Castellan to do. If you're running hybrid guard, lots of infantry, the platoon method is definitely something you're going to want to do. If you're running mechanized guard, and typically your infantry are going to be in chimeras, they're not going to be needing orders, they're just sort of there to jump out into objectives and all that kind of stuff, then going down the fire base route is also very good. But you don't need to be exclusive. You can have Castellans leading platoons and Castellans on a fire base in the same list, and they'll both be fulfilling their roles very effectively. This is what makes the Castellan, in my opinion, an auto-include unit, because he is very flexible and he comes in at a very reasonable points cost of only 55 points. To be honest, we've kind of got ahead of ourselves there because we've really explained the main reasons you want to be putting this guy in your army. But I do think it's important to cover the rest of his abilities so you guys have got the full picture, and in case there's been any other changes that have happened with this guy. The good news is that not much has changed with the Castellan since he was released. In fact, this is one of the things that makes me enjoy this guy so much. He's not been messed with any balance updates or anything like that. He's pretty much the same as when he came out. What's kind of changed is our understandings and the tactics that we want to apply with him. Everything has kind of changed around him. Now, looking at his other abilities, he does give sustained hits to a unit he's leading. That's great if you're going down the platoon method. And he also can allow you to fall back and shoot with get back in the fight. This second ability is less useful. It looks great on paper, looks amazing on paper. The problem with it is that we're in late stage 10th edition. Everything's hyper lethal. Most of the time what you'll find is if someone's charging into you, your platoon is evaporating. Expect to lose nearly everyone in it, if not everyone, including associated characters. If a unit of World Eaters charge into you, if a unit of Custodians charge into you, if a unit of anything charges into you, you're probably just going to be left with a bunch of jibs. What I find is Senior Officer and Sustained Hits is just a nice damage buff. It's very good. You can't go wrong with that, especially if you've got something like Take Aim or First Rank Fire, Second Rank Fire. You can really just get a nice little damage buff out of it. Combining Sustained Hits with Lethal Hits in something like a Combined Arms attachment is also really good. So Senior Officer is the superior ability out of these two, even though it looks really straightforward. Get back in the fight, it's more of a psychological thing. I've had a few people that have been tempted to, oh, well, I'll just charge in this sort of 5-man squad of not like rubbish infantry, but maybe like intercessor or intercessor equivalent. And they've decided not to because they know that it's just going to lead to them just expose themselves for not really much gain. So it's more of a psychological thing, but it tends to be the case that if someone's charging you, they're killing you. Last cherry on top, but we've already really covered this, the Castellan can do 2 orders to regiment units. So he is limited to ordering infantry. He can't order tanks or Titanic or Ogryns or Bulgrins. You can obviously get him to start ordering things like tanks if he's in a combined arms attachment and you take advantage of some of the stratagems in there. But I find that flexible command, that stratagem, I find it's better as a backup rather than a go-to game plan. In summary, the Cadian Castellan is an easy 2 thumbs up from me. I think he is an auto-include. Firstly, his points are very, very reasonable. 55 points for 2 orders is fantastic. Secondly, he has a flexible use case, whether it's a hybrid guard army or a more mechanized or armored style one, there's a place for him. He can lead platoons or he can look after your home objective. One way or another, you're going to be hard pressed not to find a use case for this guy in your games. But of course, all of this is just like my opinion, man. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you like the Cadian Castellan? Do you find that you use him a lot in your games? Or is there a reason you're not including him and leaving him on the shelf? If you enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to go ahead and smash that like button and also subscribe to never miss an episode. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Redfield, 32, Jurgens, Miasma, Try Again, Bragg, RJ, Scorpion, Bonbon Vert, Lord Pryor, Nicholas Walsh, John Stubbs, Guardian, Varney, Sword, Fish Trombone, Picklock the Forged. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.